Right. Yeah,
live. We are live.
Oh my goodness.
Dude,
oh, what?
We missed our opportunity.
What happened?
Today, Day is Labor
It is
Day.
Labor Day.
Oh,
Today, Labor Day is Labor Day. That's true. Because what happened was that the last time we spoke about it, I confused it with Memorial Day.
So now we don't have it.
Now, yeah, we was like, but you know what? Today, Day is Labor Day, and thank you for joining us today.
Good morning, everyone. It is September 4th, 2023, and this is the Ragin to the vlogs.
Oh,
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
And nobody's going to tune in today because I named this show the most horrible name ever.
Well, don't worry. We'll figure. After the show is over, we'll have a good title.
But there's a reason why I named it that.
What?
Because you know how I'm always saying about stuff.
About what kind? Well, all kinds.
I'm always like comics and stuff and stuff. So like we bring the comics. But now I got to bring the stuff. So I'm working on something with Tina.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be the unprofessionalist shit you ever saw on YouTube. All right, you ready for this?
Okay, absolutely not. But hit it. Ta-da.
Love that song for some reason
because it reminds us of Meredith.
It does. Yeah,
good
morning, Daphne.
Good morning, Nita. Oh my goodness, what a day today. So wow, this week is going to be insane for the both of us.
Yeah,
because it's like what I have conventions. I have a convention this week. Yes, Baltimore Comic-Con, September 8th and 10th, Baltimore Convention Center, Baltimore, Maryland. I'm going to have an Artist Alley table H28. And it's this coming weekend. And it's like, so on Wednesday, I'm going to be making my way to Baltimore. Friday is set up. And then Thursday is set up, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's game on. It's been a while since I've done one of these things, and I'm not sure if I'm nervous or not. But hey, it's gonna go the way it's gonna go.
Exciting,
yeah. And for you too, it's like what? You're 9 days out.
9 days.
9 days before 9 days. 9 days before you end up on this side. On this end of the country. I mean, it's like, a lot going on. But who's joining us in the chat today before we get all carried away?
I gotta find the comments. It's Grant and Joseph. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. And yes, I see you, my beautiful eyeball people watching from regions beyond. Thank you so much for joining us on this holiday morning, which as a homebound creator, or more like I'm not really homebound. I'm not really homebound. It's like, what the heck? No, I voluntarily stay home. Although sometimes the what is it? The agoraphobia kicks in. So it's like as someone who works from home, holidays don't mean anything to me. And it's like, yes, and it took Nita making a Homestar joke to remind me that today is a holiday. But if you're watching us from Facebook, if you're watching us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. Facebook has a habit of, acting up on us. So thank you, Grant. And Twitter doesn't even allow us. Yeah, we're all going to be busy this weekend. Yes, hello. And if you're joining us from Twitter, Twitter doesn't even allow us to see your comments. So come on over to YouTube. And while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. And if you're on LinkedIn, hello. We still don't know what to do with you yet. So
just come to YouTube anyway.
Exactly. Just come on over and subscribe. But yeah, it's like, yeah, we're all gonna, yeah, a lot of conventions happening these past couple of weeks. I mean, really, it's
and the following weekend I'll be at ZapCon on Saturday, probably
very
from about
nice.
noon to 6. So, yeah,
what's ZapCon?
It's a little convention in New Jersey that's art focused. And it's northern Jersey, so I'm only gonna be like an hour from you, and then I'm gonna go back south for a little bit and stay in Hickville with Heather, and then I'll come back up to you.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah. Had we have known, had I figured out this Baltimore thing ahead of time, because technically it was kind of last minute. Yeah, we would have coordinated better.
Yeah, I would have done the trip backwards. I would have met up with you first, done Baltimore, gone home with you, stayed a day or two, then came back down into Jersey and hung out with Heather and did ZapCon and whatever.
Right. Yeah, we would. Yeah. So, but next year, we'll do that. So before we get carried away here, because like I said, there's a lot going on this week. Very, very busy week for the both of us. Might as well get introductions in order. Hello, everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I've been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
You don't understand. I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers.
Especially this week, I need that energy. And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter in 2024 with the re-release of the next story arc, Tears of the Mother, with the re-release of issues 1 through 5 and the brand new issue 6 of this 8-issue limited series. But in the meantime, I am also known for my mature audience's medieval fantasy drama, EGORAVEN, Heir of the First Unicorn. I just want to thank everybody who supported the campaign that just finished on Friday. If you missed it, thank you so much to, I think it was 154 people who pledged to the campaign. Thank you so much. Actually, I have all the books in production right now. But we'll talk more about that later. But thank you so much to everybody who pledged the campaign. EGORAVEN issue 8 will be back also in 2024 as well with the next chapter. So keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales. That's TAILS online.com and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, LAGE Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's Nita.
My name is Nita, and I'm the producer of the Indie Comics Network on YouTube. We talk about indie comics and stuff. And the "and stuff" is about to amplify because Tina and I want to bring you a show called "and stuff." And it's going to be all the extra bullshit that we want to get out of our system and we can't. And we're going to be dramatic and probably canceled.
Oh, there you go. Very nice. Ta-da. Very nice. I guess we got to mix it up somehow. Just mix it up a little bit somehow. Just
we're gonna make streaming great again.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my goodness! But I mean, so like I said, it's going to be a very busy week. For me, especially right now at this moment, I've just been kind of like putting aside, going through my inventory and putting aside books that I'm going to be using to fulfill the issue 7 campaign. I'm trying to get, I'm actually might start packing what I have, even though I'm not going to ship anything out until Kickstarter sends me my money, of course. But the thing is, though, I have enough backstock that I can actually pack up a couple of packages. So the second I get my money from Kickstarter, some lucky few people will be the first packages out the door the next day. So I'm going to do that because I really needed to just do a last count of my inventory that I'm bringing to Baltimore. I have to do a count on that. So I figure I kind of kill two birds with one stone with that, with the packing of issue 7 as well. Because also I made a stack. I have a very small, so about like maybe like 12 copies of issue 7 I already have in house. When I proofed it, I figured, oh, let me just get like a little stack, and
for sure.
so I can actually pack some stuff in advance, some pledges in advance. So at least I might as well can get that out of the way, to get that process started. Also, that way I don't have anything accidentally getting damaged while I'm away. So
for sure.
I'm going to do that. So like I said, I already did the counts, and I already have my order in with my printer. So that was like satisfying to get done as well. So hopefully by the time you actually show up, I'll have my books in hand, and can actually give you your comp copies, or Jaden's comp copies for the variant cover that she did. Also it's like what I was like, yeah, so what else was I doing? Oh my god, like I said, there's so much. I'm trying to organize. It's like this is usually why I make a to-do list. So because it's like I'm kind of like making sure I'm not forgetting what I need to do this week, because like I said, I'm leaving on Wednesday. So I want to make sure I'm not which I'm pretty sure I'm going to be forgetting something. So getting ready for Baltimore is definitely a thing for me. Also, I am 2 pages away from being officially halfway done, complete, finito, halfway done with EGORAVEN issue 8.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah. So it's like, I am just like, I am just like, I don't know, trying to get so much done. And it's just like, and it's just crazy when I realize it's like, if I really hustle it, I can get this book, I can get halfway through the book before I go to Baltimore. And yeah, today I finished 2 more. I finished the 2 pages, and I'll have I'll have like 16 pages complete, colored and everything, done for issue 8. And it's like, you know what, this digital experiment with Clip Studio Paint, I think is working pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I really do think this is probably the fastest I have gotten an issue done. And and that was me also working on the other books, Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut and Unicorn King's Daughter at the same time. So I got a lot of pages done this past month. 2 months actually. Yes. So these are the 3 books that are going to be available on the next campaign, Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut, which launches on September 25th, which is also a reason why the second I can get books out the door for issue 7, I will. So then that way people will be getting their books when this campaign goes live. So I'm going to have 3 different flavors of books. I'm going to have Tales from the Outer Kingdoms, which is a in canon a short story set. So if you just want something, if you don't want to bother with the parodies, you just want something that continues the EGORAVEN Heir of the First Unicorn storyline, this is the book you get. Tales from the Outer Kingdoms. It's a collection of the short stories that I have been putting out as stretch goals on previous campaigns. Then they are now combined in 1 issue. Unicorn King's Daughter and Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut are kind of a set. They are the Conan parody books that nobody asked for, but you're getting because you guys had to get all excited over a joke that I did a year ago on Facebook about the Kickstarter algorithm, and we had to run with it. So I'm a little nervous about this campaign because it is a little different. Hello.
Good morning.
I'm a little nervous about this campaign because it is a little different. And again, at Baltimore, I'm going to be doing some things to try to see if I can convert convention people into Kickstarter people. I will be giving out postcards about the campaign that actually has instructions on the back on how to sign in to open up a Kickstarter account, how to pledge, what happens when you pledge.
Awesome.
So that I'm kind of like, because last night Jose had a show. Jose had kind of a train wreck, but holy crap, was a lot of great stuff was brought up during that show. If you missed Jose's show, Talking Comics, on a Sunday night, you can catch it on the playlist on the down below. You can catch it on the playlist and watch the replay. So yeah, there was a whole bunch of things, and boy, C was acting up. C was acting up the entire time.
Acting up.
Because one of the things that
you almost die and it changes your whole perspective. You quit fucking around.
That's true. That's very true. So it's like, yeah, it's like, in the end, it's like, yeah, that, I mean, really, I mean, this is not hyperbole. C almost died several months ago. And yeah, and I'm sure it does change your perspective. As to like, what am I hiding for type of thing. And yesterday it was like really a lot of that was coming out. And one of the things that got brought up was the fact that how many people like the whole Neil Gaiman and Calderon Good Omens campaign had come up. And the fact that they raised $3-point-something million on Kickstarter. They are their highest funding book ever on comic book on Kickstarter. I think Brandon Sanderson holds the record at 40 million. So Jose was talking about how this is 35,000 people pledged to that campaign for a comic book campaign, and of course his question is like, where the fuck are these people? It's like, where are they coming from? Where are they hiding? Where are, and you see, and that's kind of part of it too. Because it's like, Jose was saying that it's like, that it's Neil Gaiman's name that brought them out. But the thing is, it's not coincidence either that this campaign came out at the same time that the TV show, that the Netflix show did. So I'm sure that it brought a lot of people,
combination of the two
to
factors.
Kickstarter. I mean, but the thing is, though, is that it's not like the television show was advertising the Kickstarter. So where were these people finding the Kickstarter?
Google.
So it's like, yeah. So it's like, so we're trying to, so we were trying to figure out this trail that that was bringing, it's like, and it's like, yeah. And C had brought up the whole thing that's like, the reason why it did as well as it did was because of the TV show. That if it was, just Neil Gaiman and Colleen Doran with no TV show, that it would have been kind of like a different story. It's like Berserker
still would have been a massive Kickstarter, but maybe not as big.
Right. Berserker blew up because Keanu Reeves was attached to it.
Right.
If it wasn't attached to it, would Berserker have raised as much money? So, like a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about a list about the 6 things that customers that are only important to customers. It's the only thing. And number one was fame. So it's like, fame, because look, it's like, look, a lot of, the average person, is a star fucker. So it's like the fact that Keanu Reeves was associated with a comic book made people, the average person, go to Kickstarter for the first time because they wanted a piece of this book because, Keanu Reeves is involved. Right,
a piece of Keanu Reeves.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's how that is. And it's like, and with Neil Gaiman, it's like, yeah, Neil Gaiman is, a celebrity in our circles, in comic books, and probably a little, somewhat outside of it. But if it wasn't for the Netflix show and David Tennant being associated with it, right? It's like, that's what attracted people to the book. I mean, I'm not going to say he's wrong. Jose definitely protested that, but I am not going to say C is wrong because, yeah, how well would the campaign done without that TV show?
Right.
So
I think it would have still been highly successful, like I said, based on the celebrity status. But I think that the Good Omens pushed it over the edge.
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
I believe that. I believe that. But the thing is, though, is that okay? So now we have 35,000 people who are on the platform. Now what? I mean, it's like, are these people going to transfer over? Because that seems to be
some might.
That seems to be. Oh, I don't want to say it's a hallucination, but it is definitely the hope, literally, that everybody has, that these 35,000, that these 35,000 people are going to like filter through the Kickstarter system, filter through and find your
half of them will drop off as fast as they came on. A few might linger.
Right.
Of those, a handful that weren't already interested in comic books may turn. It's not. No.
Right.
Good Omens did not save indie comics.
No, it did not. Just like Berserker did not save. I mean, they say, oh, but it gave the platform. It's like, look, unless that money is in your pocket, it didn't do shit for you.
So stop counting other people's dollars.
Right, exactly. And because people want to talk about it, it's like, oh, but it brought people to the platform. It's like, you know what? Unless you can actually prove whatever jump you saw in your campaign is related to that, you don't know what you're talking about. I think that's just, you're trying to justify a fantasy. And I think that we all have to kind of be careful with that, because it's very easy. Yeah, it's like, you're counting other people's money. But it's also, it's like, it's very easy. It's very easy to end up chasing a white rabbit that's not there.
Right.
Because it's like, and it kind of makes people lose their focus. It's like, all of a sudden you're concerned about this 35,000 people that have nothing to do with you. And it's like, okay, it's like, because in the end, that's what it is. It's like, those people have nothing to do with you. So it's like, you can say, how do I get to those people? But maybe that's not the point. And like I said, it's like you start chasing a white rabbit, and it's like, you're losing your focus as to what you really need to do. And that kind of trails in to something else that pretty much blurted out, and it's like, it literally stopped me in my tracks, and that's when it's like, he was arguing with Rosario, which is always funny.
Like you do.
It was always funny. And he said, it's called social media, not marketing media. And I immediately went into Nita's DMs, and it's like, what the heck? And she says, I said that, and it's like, and I'm like going, I need to know this story. It's like, because the funny thing is that, again, we chase these white rabbits. And then it's like, it takes something like that, like for me to realize, oh, snap, I've been really looking at this wrong. Even though, that's the reason why I pulled out the Kindle Fire.
Here we go. God, I mean it. Like, we were missing something.
Okay, yeah, so that's, right, because, so I ended up with a Kindle Fire, which meant that I don't have to look at stuff on my phone as much, which is actually kind of nicer.
Right.
And let me get home here, and because of that, I was able to reread. Where is the homepage on this thing?
Tell you.
I'm still getting used to it. It's like, okay, oh, here it is. So I reread it. I reread it. Jesus, reread. I'm not English either. So
use your right words, Daphne.
Yeah, exactly. So I started rereading the 1 hour content plan again. So, because like, let me, try it out how it reads on this thing. And the thing is though, it talks about it kind of mentioned, it's social media. You have to connect with your audience, your cold audience. You have to connect with them somehow. You can't just come out the gate carnival barking.
Nope.
And it's like, and you have to, and you have to conduct yourself in a certain way.
But there's a good chance you can come out.
Right.
Oh, me, buy me.
Right.
You can do that, but there's a good chance you're going to end up muted or ignored.
Right. and the book talks about how you have to think about the way you interact on social media that is actually social. I mean, you have to it's like nobody cares about your product, no matter what your product is, but they could care about you,
right?
Which would
make them interested in your product.
So again, so it's like, so it's like kind of like this whole, it's social media, not marketing media. And it's like, oh, that's kind of like the click I needed. That's like, okay, now this is all now I understand the angle that it's like, because before, up until this point, everything that I was doing was kind of feeling manufactured, where I was like trying to fake something, but it's because I'm trying to follow the instructions, like literally. And, right. And it's like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, what kind of things should I talk about? And the thing that I kind of forgot, it's like, look, if I was in a social situation, if any one of us was in a social situation, and it's like, you're not gonna it's like, okay, convention may be kind of like a bad example, because that's kind of like, you do kind of start,
that's kind of the purpose of the convention,
carnival barking,
like, right?
But the thing is, though, I think about the people who are a little bit more successful at getting people to their table, and the thing that they're doing is that what's coming out of their mouth is, hey, nice cosplay. Hey, it's like, hey, can I see that print you're carrying? It's like, hey, it's like, oh, I really like your t-shirt. It's kind of like, conversation starters that has nothing to do with the thing you're buying. Right. So it's like, so imagine you're at a party, right? And it's like, you're not going to, the first person you meet, you're not going to all of a sudden go, hey, check out my comic.
Right.
No. Even if they ask you, so what do you do? So what do you do? And you say, oh yeah, I work on this. I work on a comic or whatnot. You're not going to outright go into a pitch.
No.
It's like, that's.
And if you do, they're going to walk away.
Yeah. It's like, it's going to be weird.
Fucking weirdo.
Right. Exactly. I mean, it's like, so, we kind of forget, like, there's a social aspect that's like, hey, how you doing? Oh, so what brings you here? So what are you here for? Oh, I'm tabling. It's like, oh, so, and when it comes to like being online, I really do have a tendency to forget that. Oh, yeah. Meredith used to tell me that it had to be personal all the time. I thought that was wrong, but it's because I was thinking marketing in the 90s. Right. It's not the 90s anymore. We have to modernize.
That is straight up, because right now we're in a day and age where you can look at a crowdfund that, like, and I know art is subjective, but say lower quality art or whatever, and it's banging on Kickstarter. Why? You go and look, and it's because these people have great fucking character. They're involved, they're active. Your personal character is more significant than any character you will create in the beginning.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because it's like, because Jose had brought up the example of The Rock could put out a comic right now. It could be the shittiest comic,
and it's gonna fucking sell.
He's gonna sell. It's gonna make $1 million on Kickstarter. Because one, it's The Rock, right? But also think about how The Rock like interacts with his audience.
He's a very likable character.
He's a very likable personality. Like, I think, like, honestly, the queen of really understanding how social media works is Taylor Swift. Like, this is a woman who would throw birthday parties for her fans. Like, if you had a birthday, like, she would like go on Instagram and she would wish you, like literally, like fans would like invite her to weddings and she'll show up.
Guess what? Facebook makes that easy for you guys. You want to have a little bit of a personal touch every fucking morning. First thing I do is check that birthday list. It's a generic fucking greeting, but I get thanked for it almost every fucking time. I wish everyone a happy birthday.
you know, and it's like, and honestly, it's like, I think that people like, I don't know Taylor Swift's music. I think I only have one song of hers on my phone, you know, but I know that she's a nice person. That's all I hear about her.
Until you break up with her and then she writes a song about you. But
well, you know, you got to monetize that pain somehow.
Turn that shit into art.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but the thing is, though, it's like you think about, you know, and if Taylor Swift decided to do a crowdfunder, oh, forget it. She probably wouldn't even need to go to
Kickstarter up.
You know, it's like,
be Swift starter after that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's like, oh, and here's also the other thing too, that it's like that we all also have to remember, because I think also, again, chasing white rabbits, the amount of money a person makes on Kickstarter is not an indicator on the quality of the book. You know, which I think is also something that we have to remember as creators, because it's very easy for us to take this shit very, very personally. You know, it's like, because it's like what Jose said, The Rock, Taylor Swift, they could put a comic on Kickstarter right now. It'd be the shittiest thing, because they don't know how to write comics, and they're going to hire people who don't know how to write comics, right?
Right.
And it'll make $1 million.
Well, sure.
It has that $1 million has no, it's no indicator as to the quality of the book that's being sold. You know, I mean, it's nice when it is, you know, I mean, Jose said that Berserker is actually kind of entertaining. So it's like, okay, you know, that's great. You know, it's like, okay, so there you go. You got your money's worth, you know, but, you know, it's nice, you know, but again, the White Rabbit, it's like, you not making $10,000 on Kickstarter, which is kind of like a large percentage of the people on Kickstarter don't make it to 10,000. You know, I mean, you're average. You know, if you're not making $10,000 on Kickstarter, you are average.
Right.
Anything above that, that's where you start to get into outlier territory. You know, and especially if you're making 100,000, there's only 200 creators who've accomplished that. Once you get to 100,000, you know, and more, there's only about 200 plus out of the 1,000 to 17,000 to 20,000. I don't remember how many people are on Kickstarter. Lots. It's like only 200 make it up there. You know, and again, that's not an indicator of quality. So try not to take that personally. Because I mean, because it's like it's you know, because it's like, yeah, it's very easy. Like this last, like with issue 7, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like I made less money, you know. But the thing is, though, is that
but did you?
You see, that's the catch. So when I actually did my order from my printer, what I realized is that what I lost in hard copy sales was made up with PDF sales, which means that I had to print less books. But I ended up
you achieved lower numbers, but your take home was greater.
My take home, about like 75% of my campaign is take home. Once printing and shipping is accounted for, it's like I was still able to keep 75% of my money. You know, so it's like, oh, because the PDF levels, you know, balanced it out for me. You know, I mean, those are books I don't have to ship out. Right. Those are books I don't have to make. You know, and of course it helped too that on my last campaign, I kind of stocked up because I was thinking of Baltimore. I stocked up on my back stock. So I was able to fill out a lot of my orders just on that back stock. So all I had to do was just print the floppies and that's it. I didn't have to do any, you know, on my next campaign, I'm probably going to have to restock on trades again. But on this campaign, it's like, hey, I actually didn't do that bad, you know? And it's like on a previous show, you know, I was talking about, you know, making $20,000 on a campaign doesn't mean shit if you spent $15,000 to make the book.
Exactly.
So
again,
if you're
making the same amount as somebody who cleared 4.
Yeah, so it's like, so again, it's like, when you're when you're doing your postmortems on your crowdfunding, make sure you're not chasing those rabbits. You're not chasing that white rabbit that you're not supposed to be chasing. That actually is not there. Just kind of like try to keep it in perspective. And going back to that, it's social media, not marketing media. And it's like, it's like, so it's kind of like it's kind of like putting all this information that I'm gathering into a better perspective for me. It's like, oh, now I kind of like, it's like, like, but the thing is, here's the thing though. I'm looking at Facebook, right? Which is like, oh, that's why my Facebook does so well, because that's kind of where I'm at my most sociable. Twitter, Threads, I just throw kind of like ads up there, and that's pretty much it. Right. Instagram, I don't know what the fuck to do.
I would say slow down with that with Threads, because Threads is actually starting to turn around and look better. In fact, out of all the new platforms, which I did not like it at first, but out of all the new platforms that I'm experimenting with, I'm finding LinkedIn and Threads the best.
Right. Yeah. So probably, because also because I still don't like Threads in terms that they have people in my feed that I don't follow.
It looks like they're starting to clear that up.
And it's like, and I'm trying to hide the ones that I don't want to see, but it's like they keep popping up, so it's like really annoying. But probably, if anything, Threads is probably where I'm going to start kind of like cross-posting my Facebook stuff to Threads again, to try to be more sociable and not be the awkward guy sitting in the corner, just talking to the cat. It's like Twitter, I don't think is worth my time. Instagram, like I said, I have no idea what I'm going to do with. I keep reading that the problem with Instagram is that they prioritize reels on top of everything. So it's like
they used to. It doesn't seem like they're doing that as much anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know, because like I post pictures. I used to get traction on that shit, and now it's like I'm lucky if I get like 2 or 3 people actually seeing my stuff. So I don't know what to do with Instagram. But in the end, it's like, you know what? I just have to. Facebook and YouTube are the channels that I really like. Like I said, okay, you know what? Let me figure out how to interact more with the community tab, so that it's kind of more sociable in terms of what I'm posting. So that's kind of like, and I finally have to get off my ass and finally do my videos, my long form videos for YouTube, and start posting more often there.
Right.
But it's like, so it's like, so that's the thing. It's like, did you say this on the air or backstage, the whole thing about we're living in a time where people have to know us first, right? No, you said that on the air. So that's the thing. It's like, as much as I stand behind the work that I do and the stories that I do, as much as I stand behind that work, I have to put myself forward first. I can talk about how great Tall Tales and EGORAVEN is, how you're going to be really entertained by them. It's like how, it's like you're going to.
It's supposed to be exhausting, John. It's work.
It is, John.
This is the work. When people are like, you got to do the work.
Yeah.
This is the fucking work. The writing, the art, it comes natural. They're gifts. Yes, you have to hone and perfect and work in that.
Right.
But this is the fucking work. Social media. And it's not just as simple as posting your shit. You have to engage. And by engage, I mean that if you see someone else's post here and there, you've got to comment on that. You've got to like. You've got to share. And here's the kicker, you guys. When you do that, not only are you giving the person who you're interacting with a boost, it also boosts you and your analytics. And then you start getting recommended more by fucking Facebook. My fucking account is growing like fucking wildfire. And but here's the deal. I am constantly fucking engaged.
Yeah.
Constant.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, and it's like,
and talk about interest you have outside.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, yeah, it's like, again, like small talk, you know, it's like, you know, it's like, I know that, you know, it's kind of like building on the idea of small talk at a party. Right. You know, and then all of a sudden you get that person that clicks with you, and then all of a sudden you're having a full conversation, right? So it's like we have to kind of like do that online for this to work. And it's like, look, I still remember the 200 most funded books list. Okay.
Right.
Most funded comic books on Kickstarter. What was the common denominator? They all had audiences they built before they got on Kickstarter.
Right.
That's the common denominator. Even, you know, it's like when people say, oh, just put a titty book up and, put a titty book up and you'll make money. It's like, no, not really. You know, I mean, it's like, not really, but it's like, look, even the ones that, even the TNA books that are in the top 200 most funded books, again, they had an audience. They built that audience. They engaged that audience before they got to Kickstarter. That's the common denominator. You know, it's like, you know, TNA books, they're a very easy target, sort of like, you know, the bikini girls and cosplay girls at conventions. Oh, they're the reason we can't make money.
Nope.
You know, and it's like, look, in the end, it's just an easy target. And, you know, it's like, look, the fact of the matter is that if you're not gaining traction on Kickstarter, is because your audience isn't big enough to support you on Kickstarter the way you want.
Right.
You know, and that's the thing. It's, you know, that's a reality. Yes, it's exhausting. We don't like it, but it's like, that's the shit we have to do. Kelsey Rodriguez put out a video recently about kind of like similarly, like how, you know, like, like how to put yourself out there. And the thing is, though, and she says, it's like, look, you have to remember, you know, you are an artist first. You have to make that work, you know, in order for everything else to be worth it, you know, because it's like, if all you do is engage in social media, but you're not putting out the work, you're defeating the purpose of it. You know, you still need the work.
Right. No, for sure.
Your book still needs to be, if you want longevity, you know, we joke about the shitty books that celebrities can put out and sell regardless, right? You know, for us, if you want longevity, you still need a quality of product to have longevity. Yeah, you can toss, you know, a TNA book or something and probably get that quick bump, you know?
No, not even. A lot of times they can't.
Right. Because the thing is, though, unless it's something that is actually different than just being a TNA book, you know, that it's like, oh, wait, this actually has a really good story in it. You know, you're going to have longevity outside of the gimmick. You know,
right.
So, you know, in the end, you still need to be an artist first. You still need to be a creator first. But in order for the social media, this is what she was talking about, in order for the other work, the social media, that the work you have to do being social on media, you have to plan it. You know, and that's where the book comes back in, you know, about, you know, the content plan. You have to plan, you have to schedule how you do this. Or else if you're just going in willy-nilly, you are going to overwhelm yourself. And I think that that's what was happening to me. And that's why I was procrastinating.
But you want to allow yourself flexibility, because then you're programmed again.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You will take that too far. And like, because to me, when it comes to social media, you have to be a person first.
Yeah.
You have to be a person with interest, and you have to be a person with hobbies. You have to have, you have to have your sense of humor, your style, whatever. You're a human before you are an artist to someone else.
Right. Yeah. Because they don't know your art. They just know you. They see you. It's like, you know, and when you go to a convention, it's a combination of everything. Yeah, they'll come to your booth and you see your artwork, but it's like I said, I don't like walking artist alleys because I hate the carnival barkers.
Same.
Because one, I hate the pressure, but also the fact is that it triggers my empathy to that, because I know how that feels. I know what being behind the table feels. But you know what? The last thing you need is a pity fuck buy from me. And trust me, the last thing my wallet needs is pity fuck buys.
Right.
You know? And so yeah, so it's like I make it a habit of not walking the artist alley, because you know what? I don't want to be carnival barked at. You know how you go to these malls. I mean, when you're going, when whatever mall is left, because I know malls aren't really a thing anymore. But it's like, how it's like you're going through a mall, you're minding your own business, you just want to window shop, and then you have those booths, those that like certain people rent out. And I'm in a situation that I tested Instagram to see what followed me. Boom, narcs, psychopaths, flying monkey, narc harem. It's ridiculous and dangerous for me. What the fuck are you doing on Instagram?
I don't even know, but I love it.
It's like, Jesus, it's like, but will they still buy your book though? And you know how they have those booths that that I guess like individuals rent out, and it's like you're just walking through a mall minding your business,
and you mind your business, and then they're spraying your shoe with foam and scrubbing your feet.
Right.
You're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Sea salt from Israel or shit, whatever the shit, whatever bizarre shit, and it's like, it's like, how that makes you feel. How that makes you feel.
Right.
We hate that shit. We collectively hate that shit because we all, I know, really. That's exactly what it is. It's like, I know we hate that shit because collectively we hate about it, because collectively we bitch about them.
Right.
But for some reason, we think that's exactly how we have to be, online, how we have to be, at conventions. It's like,
I'll also tell you, the people I see making the mega bucks at conventions aren't the ones that are carnival barking. They're the ones the people came to fucking see. And that's why I think for the middle ground people and fucking floor level, that conventions aren't what they used to be. If you're spending more money on travel and table than you're making, what the fuck are you doing?
No, absolutely.
You have to build your name before you spend that money. I mean, it's one thing if it's a convenience con, like, and when I say convenience con, it's like you're going to Baltimore. The Comic-Con's right there by your sister's. It's not inconvenient at all. You're packing your shit. You got your table. You're there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But these motherfuckers that are wanting to pay for like fucking New York and San Diego and shit like that, and they can't even get 100 backers on Kickstarter. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Why?
I mean, it's like, look, there's some creators that say that they make more money at conventions than they ever do on crowdfunding. And it's like, you know what? Okay.
I don't believe them.
I mean, honestly, I do. I do.
Maybe some, but you've got to be a charismatic individual.
But that's what it is that they're charismatic in person. But the thing is, though, is that conversely, I want to get to a point where I don't need to physically be there to sell my book. Which in the end is kind of the point of building that audience, building that cold audience, and turning those fans into super fans, turning people who are just meeting you into super fans. And technically they do the work for you. They do the promotion for you. See, that in the end, it's like, that's kind of the real end goal, where it's your fans that are selling your book for you, not you.
And you gotta be bringing in some numbers for that to roll out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that Polito level shit there.
So it's like, that the fans that it gets, so and
even he still shares his shit.
Right, exactly. So but when it comes to conventions, it's like right now, it's like I said, we haven't done conventions in a while because they haven't been really working. But also I think it has a lot to do with the fact that our goals for conventions were not what we needed to focus on, and we have to kind of like change the way we look at conventions. And it's like, I'm meaning like me and Jose, because before we would go to conventions and be like, oh, you have to sell all the books on the table.
No.
And it's like, and it would be very tiresome, and it just never felt like we got any real traction from that. So conventions ended up kind of like a waste of time. And it's like, but now it's like what we're focusing on is that, okay, one, the convention is convenient for us to go to. It has to be convenient.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's exactly where it's like, yeah, that's exactly
that is it.
It's like, one, it has to be convenient for us to go to. Really. And he does.
He's very active.
Then also our cost going to these conventions have to be as minimal as possible.
Right.
And in the end, the books that we're taking are not exactly lost leads, as I guess the term would be. But because they're not really lost leads, because we're still charging full price for them. I mean, it's not like, we're giving away stuff, like cards and things, but the most important thing that we're focusing on is, okay, let's build the newsletter. I got QR codes. I showed the signs on a previous show, all the signs that I made for the show.
We don't do masks here, Grant, but there is an overlap.
No. I don't know. To tell you the truth, that's something that I'm experimenting with at Baltimore. On a previous show, I showed all the signs.
Yeah, we'll know more when we see what Daphne's QR codes do.
And I made QR codes to the Kickstarter. Like I said, I'm giving out postcards for my next campaign that not only has QR codes because that's also the thing why I'm QR code heavy at this show, because what's easiest for people? Right. They have their phone. Everybody has their phone. Everybody's like this, right? Yep. So it's like, all you have to do is scan a QR code and the website automatically opens up on your phone. The Kickstarter automatically pops up on your phone, right? So that's why I'm using QR codes. And I have, it's like, as seen on Kickstarter, see my Kickstarter profile that has all my campaigns on there. Don't, like, sign up. The postcard has instructions, to try to make that jump between people at conventions and Kickstarter. I have QR codes for the mailing list. Click on, it's like, scan me for free comics, sign in.
We got QR codes for the YouTube channel. We got QR codes for the link tree.
Yeah. Yes, we do. We really
However,
do.
We need to slack off on QR codes on Facebook, because I'm starting to notice a trend that they are not getting traction. So I think they're scanning for them.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we can do that too.
Those get almost no engagement whatsoever.
Right. And also the thing is too, what I did is, like, again, bringing back my little Kindle Fire here. So I'm getting a strap for it for my hand. So I can go, if somebody doesn't want to use a QR code, they don't have their phone on them. Would you like to sign up for my mailing list right here? Just type in your email address and we're good to go. You'll get free PDFs sent to your email box once you confirm the email. So it's like I'm trying to give everybody every chance at a convention for me to collect their email, to see my Kickstarters. And if I'm lucky, they'll buy a book. If I'm lucky, they'll buy, they'll buy a book or two, while we're talking or whatnot. But yeah, it's that the social, you see, and here's the thing too, right? As an introvert, this is going to be extremely tiring for me. And it's something that I have to keep in mind. That it's like, look, you're at a convention, you're in person, you have to engage. It's like, there is no sitting down and hiding behind a sketchbook. The whole point of this is engagement. When Jose shows up on that weekend, he's going to be there for a day. When Jose shows up, he has trading cards he's going to be giving out. He has, he has QR codes he's going to be giving out at the show, that go to his Kickstarters, So it's like, it's like, no, it's like that there is no just hanging out at a convention. It's work. You know, it's like, yeah, it's that social aspect that we have to really push in order to get people to see us, to literally see us.
And most creators are introverts.
Right.
So that's
right. And the thing is, too, is that what I'm also accounting for, especially after seeing all these Artist Alley videos, is that a lot of people who go to conventions are also introverts.
Yes.
So
it's a nerd fest.
It's a nerd fest, you know. So again, you know, so it's like, again, the type of signs that I'm going to have on my booth is also catering to that idea. If you don't want to talk to me, you don't have to. All the information is on my table. All my information is on my signs. What's EGORAVEN about? What's Tall Tales about? Hey, what's Kickstarter about? What's this Kickstarter? You know, everything is going to be on a sign with a corresponding QR code, you know? So, you know, but when we do talk, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to like, hey, you know, let's do some small talk. You know, it's like, how can I help you today?
My name is Daphne Lage, and I like long walks on the beach.
Pina
coladas. Oh, man, Jimmy Buffett's dead, dude.
You know,
Margaritaville.
You know, hey, look, you know what? You know, it's like, look, if there's one thing about Jimmy Buffett passing, is it only goes to remind you, live your life in a way when you pass, people don't go, well, actually.
Huh.
You know, it's like, yeah, it's like, live your life in a way that people actually mourn your passing. You know, that people that you know what, that there's nobody going, well,
ding dong, the witch is dead, motherfucker. None of that. None of that. Although that's life goals for me.
Well, you know, but yeah, if anything I learned from Jimmy Buffett is you live your life in a way where people will actually mourn your passing. You know, just be, and that's the thing too, because it's like, especially when we're, you know, on a platform, we're on this hellscape where hot takes, the shittier the hot take, the more attention you get, you know.
And yeah, these guys do get attention. It does work, no fucking doubt. But what kind of attention are you getting? Are you getting a fucking EFAP in your comments, or are you getting people who are actually interested in your product and want to back you? But here's the one thing we notice about these little fuckers that like to do these hot takes all the time. Their percentages are dropping steeply on crowdfunding because nobody likes an asshole. Nobody wants to support an asshole. They just want to see the train wreck.
Right, exactly. And because you know what? Being an asshole is an easy way to get abandoned when it becomes inconvenient.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's so it's like, it's an easy way to get attention, but it's also an easy way to lose that attention too, because you know what, when people get bored of you being an asshole, they're moving on.
Right.
You know, and it's like, look, there's a bunch of artists that it's like, you know, you can consider themselves brilliant artists, but there just comes a point where it's like, you know what, fuck that separating the art and the artist shit. You're an
that doesn't exist anymore.
I don't even, it's like, you know what, why do I need to engage with you when there's plenty of other people, there's plenty of other artists doing similar shit that you are, and they're not assholes. So why do I need to give that attention to you? Why do I need to give you my support? You know? So it's like, you know, so you know what? Take that road at your own peril, because that's definitely an easy way to engage the algorithm, but it's also a very easy way to lose it as well.
Yeah.
You're not really gaining fans. You know, you're not, you know, it's like, you know, you can and sure, you can turn around and say, well, I made more money, or it's like, oh, well, as long as I get their money, who cares? And it's like, then, you know, look, if you're only, again, I say this over and over again, if you just want the money, get a job. Trust me, it's a lot easier. You know, so it's like, so yeah, so that commentary really doesn't mean anything to me, and and say it's like, well, I made more money. It's like, okay, Palmas, good for you, good for you. It's like it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm still doing what I'm doing, and it's like, what, you acting up the way you are has in the end has nothing to do with me. So it's like, what, go do you, but
throw your temper tantrums, cry about your huge
if you're
flaws.
asking me to respect you in a certain, because it's like, you're not getting it. It's like, just go do, I'll mind my business, you go mind yours, but don't expect anything more from me. And the thing is, though, and here's, and just to end on a nicer note, though, but
this was a beautiful note.
We went to Midtown Comics the other day, and I decided to pick up a manga that I knew nothing about. So usually when I go to Midtown, it's almost like I'm walking in with kind of like a stick and poking at stuff. It's like, oh, entertain me. I'm like that. And this one popped out at me. It's like there's people who always say that it's like, oh, you have to, it's like, oh, the problem with comics is that they're not original. And I say, you know what? Originality is overrated. Fuck that shit. Because look, it's like, look, give me a Beauty and the Beast pastiche and I'm good to go. I don't care how many times, people rewrite Beauty and the Beast. I'm there. And this is exactly what it is. I started reading it, and already I think this is one of my favorite manga already, 10 pages in. So it's Beauty and the Beast of Paradise Lost. It's just fantasy manga based on Beauty and the Beast. And you know what? Like I said, I don't care how many times this story gets told. It's the same thing with werewolves. You can never say to me, werewolves are so last year. Like, I don't give a shit. It's like, I don't care. If it's something that I'm interested in, I don't care if it's trendy. Too many volumes. The main reason why I picked this up is that it was only 5 volumes, and Midtown had all of them. So I picked up all 5 volumes without knowing what this was, because it was 5 volumes. Look, it's like, look, I'm on a limited budget and I have limited time, and I'm not going to commit myself to a manga that's like 100 volumes. It's like, no, fuck that shit.
Because everybody wants to change him, Grant. They all want to tame the beast and make him a house husband. I don't know.
Monster fucking.
Monster fucking. All right.
So
because we all want to be ravaged in the bedroom and treated like a
look, there's a whole bunch of reasons why the story resonates. Remember, don't ask the question if you don't want to hear the answer. But speaking of which, before we go, just really quick, again, EGORAVEN, a medieval unicorn, Viking slut, the 3 comics short set. If you like werewolves, and monster fucking and whatever, this is the book for you. I know it's the book for me. So it launches September 25th. Already at the end of the month, launches at the end of the month. So all the links are in the show notes below. Thank you to everybody, to the 36 followers who are following the campaign. Thank you so much. And a sister campaign, Sky of Thorns, an epic fantasy romance special edition. This is a collaboration campaign that I am doing with Krista Crawford with her fantasy romance novel series.
By the way,
yeah,
Krista kind of wasn't very active on Facebook as I used to see her. So I was like, well, where is she? She's gaining followers, and where's she getting her traction? That bitch is on TikTok and fucking killing it. I found her yesterday, and I'm like, holy shit. Averaging 600 views videos and slamming it.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's like, it's,
just throwing that out there. Follow Krista Crawford actually Floor to Villainy on TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, so we're doing a collaboration campaign. Both our campaigns launch on September 25th. And when you support both our campaigns, you will get a special collaboration print for supporting both our campaigns. Also, on her campaign, she also has another print of mine that is a stretch goal. So I will have artwork in her campaign. Thank you, Einstein. I will have a print on her campaign as well. But if you support both our campaigns, you will also get a collaboration print. Also, the Oswald Chronicles, I was there and I remember issues 1 through 4. 3 days left on Kickstarter. Thank you so much to the 82 backers who have backed so far. Let's see if we could break 3,000 on this campaign in 3 days. A lot can happen in 3 days. Again, links are in the show notes. Also, speaking of C. Michael Lanning and J.D. Calderon, their collaboration book, Magi's Grace, Sex and Monsters, is also on Kickstarter. 22 days to go, 39 backers. Thank you so much for supporting the campaign. It's a brand new story. It's a 4-issue limited series. Thank you so much, Grant. It's a 4-issue limited series about a pair of monster hunters for hire who are sent to a seaside village to investigate some strange goings on with vampires and fish people. So it's a very Lovecraft meets supernatural in this 4-issue limited series. So make sure you check that out. And last but not least, our very own Nina Aberlein with the Lusty Dragon Mistress and Not Safe for Work fantasy book, fantasy comic. Thank you so much to the 129 backers so far. She has 14 days to go. Like I said, congratulations. I mean, it's like, is she going to make it to 10 grand? It kind of looks like she's going to make it to 10 grand.
Play her trailer.
Play the trailer.
Hot. Play her trailer.
Let me play the trailer. Did I put the sound? Hold on. I don't think I put the sound.
No, don't worry about it then. But guys, go listen to that trailer.
Go.
Because at the end, it's like, good girl. And I'm like, whoa. Okay.
Yeah, because this is a very unusual campaign. Not only is there a physical comic book, but she has 2 different versions of the PDF where you can get it as a comic book version PDF or as the original scroll version. Because I think she's on Webtoons, I think, or Tapas.
Or Tapas, one of them.
Yeah.
She's somewhere else.
So you can get it made, you can get the version of it that appears on, so you can read it exactly on your phone the way it was supposed to. And she also has a video comic, which I
don't know who did the voice
right
of Aurea, but it was like,
oh my. Yes,
I
know. Oh my. Yeah. So if you want to listen to your way through this book, you can do that too. And I found that very, very interesting.
There's a part where there's a lot of words missing, people.
That's yes. It's a lot of words missing, but it is in no way silent.
Sound effects heavy.
So congratulations to Nina, who this might be her first 10K campaign. So let's get her there.
That's great.
Yes. So watch this. So all the links are in the show notes. So there we go. So I think we ended on a lighter note there. But do you have any last? Any last words for everything? I think it was a little all over the place, but I think
you know what? That's when we're at our best.
That's the stuff part, right? That's the stuff part,
that's the
right?
Stuff. Stuff's gonna be really bad though.
Yeah. So yes. So remember that I will be at Baltimore Comic-Con this weekend, Baltimore, Maryland, table H28. I will have copies of EGORAVEN and Tall Tales and furry sketchbooks galore. The printings of my furry sketchbooks. So if you want to pick these up, once they're gone, the furry sketchbooks. You come on over to my table. We'll hang out. It's like, so it'll be like just like being online except in person.
Gross.
you know. So yes, because of Baltimore Comic-Con, we are not going to have a vlog on Friday, and I am not going to have a live stream on Wednesday. So pretty much it's going to be a light week for us. So thank you everybody for joining us for this hour, because we're not going to be broadcasting. Me and Nita will not be broadcasting for the rest of the week because of Baltimore Comic-Con. So so here we are at the end of the show. Thank you so much. Did you there, I thought you froze on me for a second.
No, I'm here.
So thank you so much to everybody in the chat for joining us today on this today is Labor Day Monday. Thank you so much to all my eyeball people who are watching us as well, who watched us for the hour. So thank you so much for joining us. So if yes, but don't yes, exactly. Don't be
no loitering.
Don't be a convention barnacle, a table barnacle. You know, don't be a table barnacle. You know, let everybody else, you know, also see the work and buy everything as well. Because it's like, when I'll be happy. I'll be a lot happier if I'm selling stuff. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and the rest of my campaigns and everything else, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites. Hold on. It went away. It is, damn it. Yeah, I know. I hate those sneezes. Or lack thereof. You can head on over to my portfolio site, egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. You can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates, and also any live updates I may have, or whatever nonsense that comes to mind on Facebook, you know, that I just post on Facebook. And remember, you can check me out on YouTube for all my videos on how I make my comics and my semi-weekly art live stream Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, I'm not going to have one this week because of Baltimore, and we're not going to have a vlog because of Baltimore. So definitely next week I will try to have, you know, kind of like an update stream, but it's always on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. And remember, you can also read EGORAVEN, Heir the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. So thank you again for joining us today. I hope everybody has a great holiday. Don't eat too much barbecue because you all got to go back to work tomorrow. So, you know, so thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week with another full week of streams. But remember to also not only subscribe to our channel, but to like, share, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when any of our shows go live this week. Because we'll probably still have people streaming as well.
Absolutely.
It's not, you know, it's just us. We're not
got something going on
this week. Exactly. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. But remember, yes, it is a lot of work, but it's worth every minute. So thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
Toodles.